Hey guys, let me know if you enjoyed the video by leaving a like, and if you have any subreddits you want me to check out, comment them down below or post them in my Discord. Now, I used to work as a customer service supervisor at my current job, a retailer of sporting equipment. I work in the back office now, but I encountered a lot of fun situations during my time at the service desk. So this one night, one of the managers comes up to me, and he asks me to make him a $50 gift card for an upset customer. This isn't out of the ordinary, as we occasionally give them out for issues. I found out later from a co-worker the whole backstory to what happened. Now, I wasn't present for this and I don't exactly know what was said, but here are the basics. An entitled dad with his 5-year-old comes up to my co-worker and asks him where he can find this one specific BB gun, and shows him a page he printed out from our website. It's a semi-auto one, with a magazine that can fit 60 BBs in it. My co-worker says sure, and that he thinks the customer will have a fun time shooting targets with it. The dad says it's not for him, it's for his son's birthday. My co-worker asks how old his son is, hoping that the dad means a teenager or someone at home and not the little kid that's with him. The dad says 5, so yeah, he means the little guy with him. My co-worker tells him that he thinks it's a bad idea to give a kid that small any kind of BB gun, never mind a semi-auto one with such high capacity. He recommends buying him one of the Nerf dart guns that we sell instead. The dad flips out and starts telling him that his son gets whatever he wants because it's his birthday, and he wants that BB gun, so he's getting that BB gun, end of story. After my co-worker refuses to sell the gun to him, my manager gets involved, and instead of backing my co-worker up, he not only sells him the BB, but he gets a gift card from me because the dad was accusing our store of nearly ruining his kid's birthday. Now, let's fast forward a couple of days. There I am at the desk and this guy comes up to me with a return. I open the bag and it's a semi-auto BB gun. Now, I never knew what the entitled dad looked like, so I didn't immediately make the connection. I ask him why he's returning it. He mumbles something and asks if I really need to know. I tell him since the box is open, I do need to know, especially if it's defective, as we need a reason to tell the manufacturer when we send it back for our refund. He doesn't answer for a long moment. Then he says one of the best lines an entitled parent could ever say. My son shot me in the foot. It clicks. I want to make sure, so I ask him how old his son is and he responds with 5. Holy shit, it's that entitled dad from the other night. I mentioned that 5 seems kind of young to let someone play with a BB gun like that, and he says very quietly, he wanted one though. I reply with, and he shot you in the foot with it. He nods and just forlornly echoes, he shot me in the foot. He doesn't say much else for the rest of the transaction. I refund his money and he thanks me and then leaves. I still can't believe this guy told me the exact reason he was returning instead of just making something up. But let me tell you, I absolutely made my co-worker's day when I told him who just came back to the store and what happened. So let me know what you guys think of this story. Personally, I think it's really wrong to let a 5-year-old play with something that dangerous, considering they're 5 and they don't really know what they're doing with it. That's just bad parenting. The entitled parent in this story is actually my own father. I live across the country from my parents, for a good reason, which means I don't see them very often. A few years ago was my father's 50th birthday, and he was throwing a big party back home, and he wanted me to come. I didn't really want to go, but it was a pretty big deal, so I didn't see any way out of it. However, I had a pet rat at the time. No, I didn't keep him alone. He used to live with a friend, but he died of old age. And he became very sick the week of the party when I was supposed to be travelling. Sad, but not really a surprise because he was getting old. I knew he was going to die sometime in the upcoming days, and I chose to let him die at home, instead of having him euthanized. The last time I took him to the vet, he had such bad diarrhea I had to feed him water through a syringe so he wouldn't die from dehydration. So I bundled him up in a blanket and held him in my lap until he passed instead. Dying fucking sucks, but I did what I thought was best. So I texted my father to let him know that I wouldn't be coming to the party. We normally see each other like once per year, and he makes no effort to contact me, nor do I contact him, so I don't think he has the right to expect me to be there. To be honest, it was more of a for sure kind of thing. I thought he would be understanding, but in retrospect, he did used to slap our dog for barking and push her nose in pee if she couldn't hold it in, so I wouldn't describe him as an animal lover. Anyway, here's what he texted me back. Just euthanize him then. It's just abuse at this point. And come here this weekend. It would be so fun if you came. When I didn't respond for 10 minutes, he added the following. I can send you money so Brian doesn't have to suffer. Thanks but no thanks. It was pretty obvious that he just saw Brian as an obstacle and didn't really care what happened to him as long as I came to visit, so I said no. And I was pretty insulted that he accused me of abusing Brian, who was actually spoiled as hell. His cage door was kept open, he had homemade food, lots of cuddles, and he slept in a pillow fortress on my bed. Brian ended up dying several days before the party, so I could have made it if I wanted to, but I didn't feel like it at all, especially after that. Instead, my significant other and I stayed home and buried Brian in my father-in-law's backyard next to his rat brother. And my father-in-law gave me a long hug and asked if I was alright, because he is a normal person who is capable of experiencing empathy. So this story really annoys me because I've had pets that have died in the past, and it's definitely horrible telling someone to put down their animal, whether they think it's right or not. It's their animal, and you can't really tell someone to kill their pet. It's pretty disgusting, especially if it's just to get someone to a birthday party or something. My elementary school had this once a year fun fair, where grade 8s could volunteer to manage kitty games or help around the school. If kids couldn't find games or where to buy tickets, we would gladly escort them. I decided to volunteer one year and managed a few of the games, so I went and bought a little thing of fries and a few tickets so once my shift was done, I could go and play some games. Because it was my last year at the school, so why not have some fun? I left the tickets and fries on the mini table beside me, and I was setting up my game as someone just finished their round. Now, the prize box that was full of like 2-cent toys was behind me, and I heard a shuffling noise. A little boy, maybe in kindergarten, had one of his hands in the prize box. I saw him start to walk away with the toy and gently told him that he had to play the game first if he wanted the toy. So I leaned beside him and said, "Hey there, you gotta play the game first to have it. Go ask your mum or dad and then they can give you some tickets to come play," I said in a sing-song voice. I would have just let the kid have it, but there was only like 20 to 30 toys left, and I was working one of the more popular games and had a lot of kids who would be coming. "Okay," he said, and handed me back the toy before running off into the crowds. I thought it was a little odd that a child that young was left alone, but whatever. I returned to my station and finished setting up the game for the next person. Out of the corner of my eye, I see an older lady come storming towards me with her kid whom she was practically dragging along the floor with her. She looked me dead in the eye, and this is how the conversation went. Me: "Hey, how can I help you?" The entitled mother said, "My kid deserves that toy for being such an angel today at school because he got a star sticker. You should give him that toy." So I replied, "Well, I only have so many toys and there are a lot of people here. You can just go buy like 30 tickets for $4 and it's for charity, so why not?" The entitled mother said, "They're expecting me to pay for my beautiful angel to play these pathetic games? As if I'm paying $4 to let him win a 2-cent toy." At this point, I'm fuming. I normally don't hold in my temper well, but I'm not going to tolerate some old lady yelling at me. So I said, "If he wants a toy so bad, go to the dollar store down the street. That's where we get ours from anyway." I tried my best not to yell at her, but she looked pissed anyways. So the entitled mother said, "You are incredibly rude, young lady. This is terrible behaviour," she said, and pushed me out of the way to head towards the toy box. She pulled out about 5 toys and shoved them in her bag, meanwhile handing her son my tickets and taking my fries. So I said, "Listen lady, I don't know why you've just pushed a minor and stole from one too, but I need you to put the stolen toys back and give me my tickets and fries." I said the words a little louder, getting attention from some supervisors. Long story short, she gave me my shit back, including the toys, and got kicked out of the school. Serves you right, lady. This woman really does seem like she's up her own ass. I mean, if she can't go to the dollar store just to buy a couple of toys for her kid, or pay the $4, I mean it's $4, that's like what, £3? 1 cent Canadian dollars or something? It's a bit ridiculous. If she can't pay $4 for her kid to play a game, it's for fun. If he wins a prize, he wins a prize. If not, then unlucky. Honestly, this person probably would have given him a prize anyway. I don't really understand why she's being this rude, but I guess some people are just like that. Okay, so here's a story from when I was about 11 or 12. It was that time of the day when we got picked up from school. I'd been taking a bus since I was 11, as my parents deemed me old enough and said it would help me grow individually. Plus, it was a school bus reserved for the kids only, so I wasn't in any danger. But anyway, It was a Friday afternoon, and I was looking forward to going home and spending the weekend playing Persona 3, when there was some sort of commotion at the front of the bus. I looked ahead and saw some mother trying to get on the bus with her child. Now, this bus was strictly for children only, for what should be obvious reasons. We had no way to clarify if this woman was actually someone's mother, and it was better safe than sorry, as they say. What I heard next was absolutely mind-boggling though. The conversation between the driver and the lady was, frankly, hilarious. Keep in mind, I was living in the UK at the time, so prepare for some British slang phrases. Bus driver: I'm sorry ma'am, but you can't get on. The bus is reserved for children. You'll have to find another way home. Mother: what the fuck? Keep in mind, this is a bus with 8 to 12-year-olds on it. I come all the way out here, I walk to collect my damn daughter, only to find some minimum wage asshole won't let me get this bus home? Do you know what I've gone through? Bus driver: sorry ma'am, but children only. We can't risk letting a random adult on. Mother: so you're calling me a fucking nonce? How do I know you aren't one? At this point, everyone was staring at the woman, and the poor driver just looked like he wanted to get on with his job. But of course, the woman would not relent. Mother: I have a right to be on this bus. My children are part of the school. Bus driver: then by all means your children can get on, just not you. It's policy. By then the daughter, who was around my age, tried to slip onto the bus, blushing, clearly embarrassed at the attention, but her mother was sharply tugging her back. Mother: no Lucy, you are not getting on this bus until this asshole lets me on with you. After about 10 minutes of back and forth, the mother eventually left, taking her child with her, and the bus driver sighed with relief as we finally headed off home. The ironic part is, the woman's daughter I ended up dating, and still do to this day. She said once, and I quote, "Sometimes I wish I had your parents, or even anyone else's." So I can actually relate to this story quite well. My mother used to be insanely, she would just freak out and strict, and she'd shout at me in public, so I can really relate to how the girl was feeling. It's a school bus full of children with one bus driver who's been trained, so she was pretty unfair to the bus driver, and it didn't seem like it was fun for the daughter, to be honest. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed, please do leave a like and a comment. Let me know what you think of these Reddit videos. Would you like to see more on some other subreddits? Like I said at the start, leave some suggestions in the comment section below, or go over to my Discord and you can leave them there. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one.